Don't forget to like and subscribe, and share your opinion down below.
Am I the idiot for gambling half of my kids' college funds, and winning? Okay, I know that the title sounds horrible, but hear me out. About a week ago, a group of friends and I took a trip to Vegas. And for the record, we all got COVID tested before we went out. I am looking for a judgment on this specific thing, not on me taking a vacation. The casinos have just opened up recently, and my friends and I have always enjoyed a little bit of gambling, so we decided to check one out. I usually have a specific fund dedicated to gambling, so I don't use up any of our savings, but most of that fund ended up being put towards rent during quarantine, since my girlfriend got laid off of work. Now, here's where I think I might be the idiot. It had been over a year since I had gambled last, and I really wanted to gamble. Any other gamblers out there reading this post will get it? I didn't want to take away from the house fund or from our grocery fund, so I decided that taking money from my kids' college funds would be the best option. One of them is 14 and the other is 11, so there was still plenty of time for me to get the money back before they actually go off to college. And I ended up winning. I kept all of the money that I gambled, and I ended up making a profit of about a quarter of the fund. I called my girlfriend and excitedly told her the news, but she asked where I had gotten the original money from. I told her, and she freaked out. She screamed at me, told me that she was going to tell the kids how immature I was, and hung up on me. I know that it was a little bit irresponsible, but I don't really see the issue. If I had lost the money, it might be a different story, but I won, so I don't get why there's a problem. Now my kids have even more money to put into their college fund, and I got to gamble like I wanted to. It's been 3 days since that conversation, and she hasn't responded to any of my calls. I'm getting really sick of reaching out to her when I don't think I did anything wrong, but my flight home is soon, and I don't want her to bitch about me not apologizing when I get home. But do I even have anything to apologize for? So, Reddit, am I the idiot? You're the idiot. You could have lost. Your girlfriend is out of a job and you gambled badly needed money on a 1 in a million shot. You need to get on your knees and apologize. And you've repeatedly said you don't want to be judged for traveling during COVID but using up your savings during a pandemic. Not a good look. You're the idiot. You either need help for a gambling problem, or you are just downright foolish. I do not know why you even posted this. You know you are the idiot, and you know your girlfriend should be furious. You are literally gambling with your kid's future. Grow up. You're the idiot, and your logic plus your inability to not gamble indicate that you have a very serious gambling problem that you should probably be seeking help for. As to your girlfriend, you should be prepared to grovel and work incredibly hard to make up for what an incredibly stupid and unnecessarily risky decision you made. And I would not be surprised if she never fully forgave you. Am I the idiot for insisting on standard child support from my soon-to-be ex-husband? Here's the situation. We opened our marriage several years ago and then decided to get a divorce last April. We stayed living together, in separate rooms, for a while because of COVID, and in reality, I was spending most nights at my boyfriend's house, so it wasn't too bad. I have been a stay-at-home mom since our oldest was born, so I continued to handle all child care. Back in the late summer I stopped sleeping there at all and moved all my personal items to my boyfriend's house, even though I wasn't really ready to move in with him. But my ex was having a hard time dating because anytime he brought someone home, they asked why his wife's stuff was all over the house. I kept doing childcare at the house we had shared, though. We are now in the process of splitting finances and finalizing the divorce. The kids sleep at his house half the time and at my boyfriend and my house the other half of the time. I am still providing all after-school care. Schools are open for in-person learning here. Based on that, I asked for the standard amount of child support. He is upset because paying the standard amount means he won't be able to make rent, and he wants to stay in the house we had been renting together. I told him, if I'm providing all after-school care, I deserve the standard child support. So he talked to his work and arranged to work from home every other week so he can provide child care on those weeks he has the kids. He said that if he is providing half of child care, he should be able to pay less child support. I really want to continue being a stay-at-home mom, and I can't afford to do that if he doesn't pay the full amount of child support. So now, what was supposed to be an amicable divorce is just getting ugly. We've been back and forth on this for a while and cannot seem to come to an agreement. He thinks I am being completely unreasonable. He thinks I'm the idiot because if we're both providing child care, the amount of child support he pays should be decreased proportionately. He is offering to pay about half of what standard child support would be in our state. I'm worried because I'll have to get a job if he doesn't pay the full amount, and I want to be home full time. Our kids are all school-aged, but I like being there after school. What's your verdict, Reddit? Edited to add, I am planning on getting a job at some point. I just don't want to have to get a job where my kids might have to go to after-school care. And I want to be able to have summers with them. I think it would be in the best interest of the kids for me to continue being home with them. You are the idiot. This is crazy. He should just not be able to make rent because you want to chill on your ass at your boyfriend's house till your kids get out of school, and you'd only have them every other week. Yikes, lady. You are the idiot. You're getting divorced. It is beyond unreasonable to expect your ex to cover all your expenses so you can be a stay-at-home mom. Especially when your ex has every reason to expect 50% custody. You're a single mom now, you're going to have to get a job. It isn't your ex-husband's responsibility to fund the lifestyle you want. You are the idiot. Child support is for the kids, not for you. If you can't afford to not work even though you won't be taking care of the kids full time, then get a job. Am I the idiot for telling my friend how he should talk to his mom? I have had the same few close neighborhood friends since I was a kid. I am 16 now, and one of my friends is going through this phase where he insults his mom in front of the rest of us, and it makes me pretty uncomfortable. You know, like she will bring us a snack, he will taste it and be like, this really sucks. But I try not to be too judgy because I know we have all been through embarrassing phases where we do not treat our parents how we should, and that I never know what else is going on in a person's life. Me and one other guy had said something a few times like, that's kind of harsh, or we can step out if you have things to talk about, that kind of thing. But he did not seem to notice or care, so we kind of let it go because it was awkward, and we did not want to make it more awkward. He is also the most popular at school of everyone in our original friend group right now, so none of us really want to get on his bad side. But yesterday I was at his place, just me and him, no other friends, and his mom was doing some tidying up. She is a larger woman, and he started making really obscene comments about her weight and saying her fat ass was blocking the TV when she was nowhere near the TV, things like that. It was obviously super hurtful to her. This was the first time I have ever seen her cry from his comments. It deeply affected me because I have grown up around the family my whole life. I started feeling like to not say something was a statement in and of itself at that point. It was so strange to be in such a situation at all. Finally, I said to him that I was leaving and not coming over until this really weird and inappropriate phase passes, and on the way out, I said to his mother that I may not know the whole story but no matter what it may be, she doesn't have to take this from anyone, least of all her own son. And if it were me, my parents would be throwing me out the minute I turned 18, and I honestly could not believe what I had been hearing lately. That she was not doing him any favors, how it affected her aside. So, then I left, and ever since I've been getting texts from my friend and our other very close friends saying, paraphrasing, their family life wasn't any of my business and I didn't know the whole story. It doesn't help, just adds to embarrassment for his mother, and if I wanted to leave that was one thing, but I shouldn't have been giving unsolicited advice or inserting myself into a private situation. I feel awful because I really didn't mean to make things worse and it sounds like that's what I ended up doing. Am I the idiot for what I said? Everyone is the idiot. You meant well, but you definitely could have gone about it better. It's good you stood up for someone who was being treated poorly, but when you chose to make a big, dramatic exit, you also kind of put yourself in the middle of it. Like you said, you don't necessarily know the whole situation, so why not just ask your friend in private, dude, why have you been so mean to your mom lately? You made her cry the other night. Is everything okay? Coming at it from a place of caring instead of judgment can make people a lot more receptive to opening up and changing. Not the idiot. If it was private business, he would have kept it private. By saying those things in front of friends, he brought his friends into it. As a teenager, he needs to be told by peers that his behavior is not okay. It's one thing for his mom to reprimand him, but sometimes the shame from your friends is way more effective. Hold your ground, you're doing the right thing. Not the idiot, and stop calling him your friend unless you associate with bullies on purpose. What he was saying and doing was abuse. I don't know why his mother doesn't respond, but my guess is that she has self-esteem issues and, like a shark, he senses it and zeroes in for the emotional kill. The others coming after you are enablers for the bully. Am I the idiot for telling off my friends for missing their engagement photo shoot over their roommate? Hi Reddit. So, I do photography as a side hobby for extra cash. Portrait shots, engagement sessions, weddings, etc. It's fun and I like what I do. 2 of my good friends got engaged last year and were wanting to do an engagement session, and I suggested when it snows, we should take advantage of that. They loved the idea and I even went shopping with the soon-to-be bride to pick out an outfit to go well with a snowy background. We finally find out it was going to snow last night and this morning several days ago. Bride is my neighbor. Groom is not. Groom lives 15 minutes on really bad back roads that ice over and are definitely not safe to drive in after snow. So, I suggested he spend the night before. I don't want anyone getting hurt over photos. Groom and bride have slept together plenty of times, in both meanings of the word sleeping, so this isn't a problem of morality. Groom's roommate is obsessed with their sex lives and purity. One time he tore their living room apart in anger, all because the groom spent the night at bride's apartment. Groom has to sneak bride in after his roommate goes to bed and out at 5 a.m. before he wakes up to prevent angering him. His roommate has all kinds of issues concerning his faith, and he pushes his issues onto the groom and will make life hell if groom doesn't follow roommate's morality code. I'm a Christian myself, but this guy is a lunatic. Over the past 6 months our other friends and my boyfriend have suggested moving out or even crashing with them because everyone thinks groom's roommate is crazy and creepily controlling, but groom feels obligated to stay since roommate has no other real friends. Anyway, so groom was going to spend the night with bride. That was already discussed so that we can walk to each other in the snow and no one has to drive. I had everything set up and ready to go. I get a text this morning saying groom did not spend the night because he feared angering his roommate, and so we can't do the engagement photos because, as I predicted, the roads are iced over. I'm mad and basically told them off that they need to stop letting roommate control their lives and that it's unhealthy as hell, and it isn't fair to me to go through lengths to plan a photo shoot and prepare equipment all to cancel 2 hours before by saying groom didn't spend the night as planned. I told them they better suggest something else because there's no way we'll ever do a snow shoot for them if they keep living in fear of roommate. They're upset and think I'm harsh. I think they need to get out of this toxic roommate situation and should have told me in advance that groom was never planning to stay the night, because I knew if he didn't, I'd have known not to prepare since I know how bad the roads get. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. If they set up a photo shoot with you and then couldn't show up because they didn't do the planning they'd agreed to do, this is on them. Don't reschedule and let some other photographer deal with their weird ass situation. If they want to be controlled by a crazy person, that's their business, but you don't need to involve yourself in it. I might get downvoted into oblivion, but I don't care. The roommate reads like someone who is not only struggling with their faith but their sexuality and is taking it out on a potential object of his affection, or potentially just someone he is projecting purity onto. This is weird, and I feel bad for the roommate. Not the idiot. Your friends were inconsiderate of your time and energy and don't communicate with you about the change in plans. You were a bit blunt, it's true, but at least you didn't tell them there was no point in doing an engagement photograph because the guy is in a primary relationship with his crazy roommate and that marriage is not going to happen. In my humble opinion.